I start a new job, new occupation. Let me
Girl,
slide
look
over
at
here.
you. Trying to be like Joshy Gone.
Who?
The guy that works.
I was like, who? I tell you what I do and don't do.
He's the microphone tech guy.
I mean, text my mama and
Camo
call her
Stage
and let her know.
Studio.
Get online. You got anybody you want to call so they can watch you? Now's the time to do it. I'm gonna call my mama. Call your mama. I'm gonna call my mama. What song is that from?
Hey, lady.
Y'all just mad? You just mad because you ain't right there. Do the stepdad. Do the stepdad. Remember that song?
I ain't never heard that song before.
The stepdaddy song?
No, I have never heard that before.
Wow.
Is somebody not connected?
No. Just need to pull up that
This
mic
one?
when you guys are ready.
Oh.
Hold on.
What you doing? We about to go live on Facebook if you want to watch. Me, Latoya, and Amber.
I'm about to go live on my podcast. You follow me on Lure Lines, don't you?
Okay, just wanted to let you know. Bye.
This is
Bye. All right, so we live. People can hear us and see us. Well, on there, not on here. So the name of this episode is The Joys of June. Look at us. Black Joy on Juneteenth. No?
yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely have some joys that I can
Have some joy
talk
coming in.
about.
Yay! Look at us. Look at us being joyful. Joyful, joyful. No. What movie is that?
That Jackery was joyful.
Look,
For you, can you bring it up a little bit?
Spring it up. a
Yeah.
little bit.
she the main one. Who
Right to your
don't
mouth.
like-
Yeah, right there.
That
A little
like
louder,
this.
it's fine.
Like
I like everything sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
This one right here, the main one who don't like gospel sing
That was,
praise
First of
Sister
all,
Act
that's her
two.
sister act too.
at events.
I didn't say that I don't like
You
praise.
said
I like
no.
if it is a
Was that
particular
because of the
event.
praise dance?
No,
She
it's
hate
not even about
she hate
that.
gospel music at black events.
Who says that I hate black gospel music at black events? That's not what I said. I said black people can't do a lot of things without throwing a hell of a lot of a Jesus in it,
You just
and
did
that
it.
sometimes we cannot.
And
We
you
can
just did it.
have, different things without having to have it Jesus down.
But why did you just do it?
I said joyful, and then it made me think of the song from Sister Act 2, which is
And
a
she went into
secular
the
movie
foundation.
about a school, and they used gospel, but then tried to make it secular feeling.
Again.
So
it was a gospel
I didn't
song.
just say, hey, all right, everybody bow your heads and let us pray.
Here she
I
go.
didn't say, hey, you're going to do
Here
an A
she
and
go,
B
y'all.
selection.
Here
I
she
didn't
go.
do any of that.
You just did.
Jeez.
Ah.
I did not. So
She hate to be wrong.
I'm not wrong. If I was wrong, I'd be
Freaking
like,
Virgos.
let's move on. See, if I was wrong, I'd say, let's move on.
Virgos.
But I'm not wrong.
Hey y'all.
I was on pulling up the
Welcome to the
outline.
podcast.
Look, she's like, let's move on.
We do this all the time. We have a little tit for tat. She get on me
Lot more
because
tit.
I'm late.
You were late today too.
I was
but
late, but you weren't
yeah.
set up.
I was set up actually.
You weren't ready.
I was set
You
up.
weren't ready to say
I was
let's
set
go
up.
live.
If I was ready, I would have started, and then you would have been late. And it would have been on film that you was late. I'm trying to save you.
But
Look
she
at
wasn't
that.
ready, y'all. So, but she still had
We
to
were here
turn me
7
out.
minutes before we needed to be here. We rearranged it so that all three of us could get on.
Yeah.
My two besties here.
This is how she tells me I'm late.
I love you, and I expect your lateness. So that's all there is to it. Look, I
was
went
on
back
time
home.
last time.
You were. So, grace. I'm gonna like God gives. I'm gonna give grace.
What?
Hallelujah.
I saw what happened.
Glory be to
So what
Jesus.
When I got here on time, you weren't ready.
Girl, bye. Excuse me. I'm just gonna put this out. Look. You smooch queen. She is gonna go out. She's gonna shake hands. She's gonna do all that. I'm gonna be the one with the backpack, the supplies, setting up, doing technical assistant, organizing. So it's easier for you to show up and be cute, and me show up and be busy.
That's my superpower.
There you go, showing up and being cute. There you go. That's the
Girl,
joys
wear
of
your
June.
cape. Wear your cape.
You want to start us off?
Sure.
I'm gonna let you talk too.
She ain't gonna let me talk.
Let's go.
So welcome everyone to the Random Black Girls Podcast. Hey, we have a special guest today. I'm Latoya Swan.
I am Dr. Sharita Ambrose.
Yes.
She said it. I'm Amber Johnson.
And I want to introduce Amber a little bit because she's on our board of directors. She is a secretary of our board of directors. However, she has been down like 4 flat tires for a very, very long time. She's also my link.
19 and 22.
Yes. My link, my sort of sister. Like, if we're not blood related, but we sisters.
Yeah, this is my sister.
There you go. And we met each other.
19 and 22.
Yes.
That was our age.
She was 22. Look at that.
That was good to be that old.
Oh, rude. But I like it.
Being born in 1922.
We know what it means.
All righty then.
Okay.
So, yeah. Want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, just say hey to the peeps.
Hey to the peeps. I am Amber Johnson. I am a high school teacher. I am on summer break. Yes, I need all y'all's prayers and blessings because my gangster was tested this year.
Ooh.
But I'm not even much gonna revel on that particular part. I am. We had my leadership camp for JROTC and did a lot of work this time around, but it was still a blessing. And then I came out to support Allure Alliance with the event that they had on Saturday. Blew up some balloons and did some stuff and sang and recorded and probably used up all of Sharita's storage on her phone.
Probably not.
Indeed. No, it's close.
No, unbelievable.
Girl, she had 60 minutes on there, and I think by the time I got finished with her phone, it was only 9 minutes left.
Well, 60 minutes, when it starts doing that, I already know that, look, I got to get
She
ready
ain't got
some
much time
video.
left.
Because I have everything, like all of our posts, all of our, it's right here.
So I'm down here kicking it with the besties. Besties crew. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Plotting and planning and scheming for the rest of the summer.
Yes. Teachers need a break. They need some joys
I need
of
some
June.
money.
Episode 10. Look at us, 10.
Woo.
Remember when we were struggling to get one? Remember we were
Yeah.
struggling to get one?
We were.
If you go to episode 1, you can hear the struggle.
Ooh, you can hear the.
I mean, episode 10 is better. It's like
Yeah.
anything. You go back,
Yeah.
go to your favorite podcast and go back to episode 1.
The very beginning one.
Yeah, they sound like they're in the echo
I
chamber.
think about that.
Right.
They might have been in their closet.
I don't have a
bathroom.
podcast, but I do follow certain people, and I remember their humble beginnings. It's
Right,
just like,
right.
From then to now, it's just like,
Yes.
wow, this
How
is
it
wonderful.
started and here where we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
And see, I'm happy for growth. I think I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna start moving to that growth mindset. Like, ooh, it's like, look, from 1 to 1.5 is growth. You know, instead of being like, why isn't it 200? I'm gonna be happy for the 1.5.
Hey, I'm happy for 1.7.
There you go. I gotta get there because I'm one of those people. I like to think big and I like to think far.
I'm gonna go for the whole 2.
Yeah, you're gonna follow the whole.
Final answer.
But that's still growth. And like sometimes you're like, why isn't it instead of 2? Why isn't it 10? Right? So for me, that's how I think. That's how I think. Oh, you got an undergraduate degree. Why don't you have a master's? You got a master's degree. Well, what's next? You got to get yourself a doctorate.
Oh,
Now you got a damn doctorate. What you gonna do next? What kind of certification? How you gonna like blow up? Cause you gotta hoe up or blow up, and I'm trying to blow up, right?
My mama was hard because she was just like, we need a doctor in the family. After I got my master's degree, I was like, well, we get that to the great grandkids.
It
And
ain't
are
gonna
you
I'm
be
not
gonna pay?
doing it.
Who paid?
Yeah.
That's debt.
Yeah. No, it ain't me. I didn't have those pressures in growing up. My parents were more just like, don't get pregnant, graduate high school, get a good job with good benefits, and live your life. And that's not
Get
a
you
lot
a
of
good
expectations.
job.
Yeah,
Regular
with
chick
the
with
state.
benefits.
You got to be with the state.
There
or
we
the
go. Okay, I was
city
gonna say,
or
what's a good job?
something like that.
A good job is something where you don't have to put in a whole lot of effort, and that you're not gonna get fired. Like honestly, 3 years vested, like that kind of
Right.
thing. Where I'm here for
Pension
3 years, it's
plan.
gonna be a hell and high water to get rid of me,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
You think of the people who
Join
work at
the
the
union.
DMV or
Oh
whatever,
my God.
DPS, Where you're like, how you still working? Because I vested, bitch.
Exactly.
It's gonna be hard to get rid of.
They can slap a whole customer and don't get fired.
Right. So that's where we're at. You want to finish up?
You gonna let me talk?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. She gonna let me talk, y'all. So I'm finished. What I started.
That's gonna be your T-shirt. You gonna let me talk?
Oh,
That's a good shirt.
one. That'd be a good shirt.
Don't steal it, y'all. It's coming with sparkles.
It's
on it.
trademarked. So the purpose of the Random Black Girls podcast is to bring Black women together, such as us, and discuss health issues, real life situations that Black women go through, and also those important topics that we need to have conversation. Those uncomfortable conversations, those critical conversations, just conversations that we need to share with one another so we know, one, we're not alone, and two, that we can get through this coming together. So if you want to contact Allure Alliance, you can find us on our website, www.randomblackgirls.com. You can catch us on the grams. I just like saying that because I'm old.
The gram.
Allure.
You know, everything says the in front of
In
it.
front of it.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
Going to the Walmart.
Right.
Texas Southern University. These are good
You
Marshall
can get
High
us on the gram at Allure Alliance TX. You can catch us on the Twitters at TX Allure. And you can also catch us on this podcast.
Amen.
On
Amen.
Spotify.
Yes.
Amen.
So go to
And
Spotify.
SoundCloud too.
SoundCloud, Spotify, subscribe,
I'm trying to get
push
us on
the
Apple.
button.
I'm trying to get us on where other streamings. I'm working on it.
Okay, she's working on it, and she's gonna get it done too, y'all.
Honey,
I promise.
baby, if I tell you I'm working on it, it's gonna get done.
So we in joyful June.
Joyful, joyful. Oh, let me stop.
Don't do that. And June is
A lot of months. There's 102 months.
it's Black
For-
Mental Health
No,
Month.
no,
Black
no.
Men
Black
Month?
Music Appreciation Month. Black Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about each of them. I want to talk about something joyful at first before we move into the mental health. Okay. Up and then down, then up. Right. So
I'm not
Black
tambourine it.
Music Appreciation Month. Who are your favorite three? Like if I could only listen to three artists for the rest of my life, these are these three. They're gonna be in rotation. I already know the purple one's coming out of her mouth. What you got?
What you got?
What you got? You know what? I'm gonna also include all the songs that they wrote, all the songs that they produced. You would be fine to never listen to another artist again if you only listen to songs that were like written, produced
The purple one.
by the purple one.
Okay. And I would also like to put in there Tina Turner. Not just because she just died, but Rolling on the River. I got a whole video. I'm scared to post it.
Post it.
No,
Post it.
I'm a businesswoman.
Edit it.
I got on my swimsuit, so I can't edit it.
You could put words across you
Oh, okay.
in the parts that are you don't want people to see. Like a word.
I mean, it's a mommy swimsuit, so.
There you go.
Oh, you can get away with that.
Thank you.
You can get away with that.
Look, and mommy swimsuit for you is very different from mommy swimsuit for me. Let's just be honest here. Mommy.
No, my mommy swimsuit is like your mommy swimsuit.
Are you sure about
all
that?
things covered.
No, my swimsuits are covered.
No,
Like you
know,
getting the
six
bang
strip.
belly on the side. I got a little
Gonna give
strip
you
right here,
everything.
and everything's hanging off the
Oh,
side.
see, I'll everything.
No, look. This,
Yeah, you can
I
get
have to make sure to check the titties, okay?
Make
To
sure
make sure
they're
I'm talking,
covered.
because it's like here, and then like, you know, like a little cinch down here, so any wave that's coming, boom, we can go there. I like that.
Be like,
Look,
hey guys.
after I almost died having my last one, I was like, this body is going to be seen. Now, you ain't going to see my C-section scar, but you
I
will
get
see that belly.
I get it.
I'm going to trust a big gut and a smile.
Look, look, all these girls, all these pretty girls, all these Instagram women, peace and prayers go out to DC Fly that are dying on these tables trying
There
to
you
get
go.
this perfect body, man. Don't do it.
And
Just
just-
stop.
That's the part. And look, I know this is not our choice. This is not our place to talk about whether or not she should have gone under a knife or whatever.
Right.
But that honestly was one of the first reactions that I had. Is like, first of all, this girl's already gorgeous.
Right.
You literally just had a baby.
Exactly.
And you know, Keke Palmer even said this. She said, you know, for us, it's the business. We got to get snatched back.
Yeah.
But if that's not a priority for you, don't do it. Take your time. And after the first baby, because I was with somebody who was very body conscious, I was working out 2 times a day, do a body gym 7
Girl,
days
body
a week.
cracking.
I was literally and then I was counting. I went on this whole diet that was very restrictive and all that. Yeah, because I was like, look, he can't be beefcake and I be over here looking like cupcake. That's what I felt, right?
I like that.
And I was like, I'm over here with a muffin top. I'm the muffin top cupcake. Okay. I'm not. I need to be cute because when people see us together, they need to make sure.
Doing all that behind the scenes.
I had to say to myself, look, seriously, if I don't need people to be thinking, why is he with her? That's how I felt at that time after having a baby, right? Well, you know, and I wasn't I'm not as big now. I mean, I'm not as thin now as when I had my first child. After I had my first child, I would like to be that size now. It wasn't big. I'm bigger now. But I was going to body gym. I was doing lunchtime workouts and then going to body gym after work hours. So I was going during lunch and then trying to do everything so I could slim down. And it was working. I did slim down. I got the pictures of it. But I was just doing it because I don't want to look bad next to the person that I'm with. It wasn't because I really wanted to do it. And that's not a good motivator.
No.
But now I'm like, this body carried a child, and I almost died, but this body kind of pulled through. So who am I to be like, ooh, this body's not what I want. This body kept me alive.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where I'm at. And everybody loves the belly but me. Like my son, my oldest son is 12. He'll come and try to lay on my belly. The baby jiggles the belly. The husband wants to be up under the belly. Okay? And the one girl on the thing, she said, how many times have you heard a guy say, your belly is a problem? Never once. Never once have a man said the belly's a problem. So there's that.
There is that.
Put your mommy bikini on.
Post your videos.
I want to go to a new beach now. I'm like, let me get naked somewhere.
Well, don't go to the ones in Jamaica. They're not good.
The nude beaches?
Why do you say
What's
that?
wrong with them?
It'd be old people out there.
I'm cool with that. I've been saying since one on the beach.
No.
Titties gonna be hanging low because I got
No.
breastfeeding boobs. But want some
No.
Janelle Monáe titties.
Okay, Janelle
Janelle.
Monáe body.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I love it.
But does she have any kids?
No.
I understand now when people say kids will change your life, change your body, change everything. It just will.
So
We diverse.
we do diverge. So the purple one. Who's the other two?
I would have to go with. Oh my God, I'm thinking about all the ones that are dead. Tina, loved her.
You said Tina. So one more.
Luther.
Luther. Wow. Yes. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Amber, you up?
I can't think of the third one. Just give me a second for that one. But of course, Jilly from Philly.
Okay.
Jill Scott.
She got a great catalog.
That is my girl. History behind that. Sharita introduced me to Jill Scott.
Oh.
And my big sister had Jill Scott's CD. And she was sleeping on Jill Scott. So I said, hey, can I borrow your CD? Jill stayed on rotation. This was her first album that she had released, the very first volume 1. And so
Who is Jill Scott?
I wore that thing out. And it stayed on the turntable in the car. So just so happened to be going to the Texas Southern University to make a payment for something for school. And my sister was with me, and she finally took the opportunity to listen to what Jill was talking about. Do you know this heifer took off with that CD? So when I got into the car, I was like, all right, do you? I was like, wait, hold up, where's my disc? Where's my disc? It was not mine. Granted, I am aware of that, but she was asleep on Jill. So I was just like, I'll go ahead and get my own. So Jill Scott, I have practically everything, and then my youngest sister persuaded me to get an iPhone. So she was the first person I downloaded when I got my phone. It's like, Jill's supposed to be on this whole thing. I will drive from Houston to Austin to Dallas to Oklahoma, and the only thing I'm listening to is Jill Scott the entire way through.
She's got a great catalog.
Absolutely.
Have you seen her live yet?
No.
Me
And I
either.
wanted to see
Let's
her.
figure that out, guys.
She was in Houston on the 13th, and I was out at the camp, so I was like,
Oh,
I wouldn't be able to
dang.
go anyway. But I was like, man, Jill Scott, come back.
I mean,
See, I don't want to see anybody I really want to see local. I want to travel to where, because I want it to be an experience.
You know
Like,
who I would
the
like
travel
to see?
and all
Erica
that.
Badu.
We saw Erica Badu.
At
Girl,
Jazz Fest.
she tore that up.
Yeah.
She tore that up.
She in Dallas next month.
Go.
22.
You in Dallas next month.
That'll
Let's
be
just be real.
That'll be good.
And she's at her hometown, so you know she's going to show out.
Yeah, definitely.
I heard she was awesome in San Antonio.
And Yassine Bey, also known as,
I didn't even hear the
Most
question.
Def.
I was sitting up there thinking
He's
to myself
also
about, you know, that not Jill Scott, the Erica Badu concert that we went to, and
it was hot as
it
fuck.
was
We
hot,
loved it.
but she put on a show.
Got purified, clarified.
Yeah.
and-
Yes, yes.
Feet all jacked up by the end of it because we had been walking the whole time, but
This is
I
where we got
still-
sexy thick legs from.
yeah.
We walk around in this. It went, hey.
But that was her because I was and she was saying, "Amber, take off that shirt underneath that shirt."
I was trying to get Amber to be naked with me.
I
was
girl,
out here in the
I
streets.
tend to be modest sometimes. So you know, I had on shorts that came out. You know, school teacher mode. The shorts come to your knees. It's like,
I'm like, nobody knows
take that
you
shirt
here.
over
Let's
there.
go.
Yeah, you don't live here. That's another reason why I love Louisiana, New Orleans. Definitely going to New Orleans. It's one of my favorite places to go. Yes.
I want to go for the food.
The food is great.
The food is great. The people are freaking awesome. You can walk down the street and end up eating Jello shots with somebody and singing songs.
Why did that girl, she got married to a dude
Oh, she did.
recently. She was like lesbian for a minute. It was with this like really handsome lady. And
Yeah.
then next thing you know, because I follow her on Insta, and I was like,
She got married.
and her baby big now. I'd be like, look at this. I just feel like I'm watching your kid grow up on the interwebs. You said Jill Scott. I'm sorry, this is the drink. This is a drink right now.
I drank mine already.
drinking lituation. I
was
took my
just
home.
over.
I took my home and froze.
Man, no, it was better than.
I'm a
this
lightweight now, so I just
Apparently, because I was like,
Did you do the
Working.
lunatic or whatever the purple one was? Which one did you drink? You did the purple one. That one was. it
What
was
did you get
strong.
one to go?
I got a lemon drop to go.
I
I
had the
should've
lemon
got a
drop
lemon
too. I thought
drop.
the lemon drop was strong. We digress
Yeah,
again.
sorry about that.
Random. Jill Scott was one.
Michael Jackson.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson. Mama said, Mama said, Mama said,
Girl.
Mama said, Mama said,
I think it
Mama
was
said,
the.
Mama some barbecue sauce.
That album came out. What was it? Off the Wall. I think that came out before I was born. But going in, and you know, you happen to be around, you listen to movies.
Like solo
I mean,
Michael
music-
Jackson?
Yeah, it was solo Michael Jackson. Not to say nothing against Jackson 5. I love Jackson 5 too. But that Off the Wall album was one. It's just like, okay, get on the floor.
Off the Wall was great.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Human Nature
And
was
it-
on that, wasn't it?
I think so.
I-
No. I think Human Nature was on Thriller.
It's on Thriller?
Yeah, I think so. We have to
What's
go
the
ahead
other
and
one? I
look
can't
just to
help
be
it.
safe. If I wanted to, I couldn't help it. Even if I could.
That's my jam.
I would listen to that. I could. That'd be a driving moment for me as well. Jill Scott is always number one. No.
At number 3?
Number 3, that's kind of like it's kind of a toss. I hadn't really. Those are typically my 2 go-tos more than anything else. If I look at my playlist right now,
If you can't
Girl,
grab
it's been-
Jill and you can't grab Mike,
I ain't listening to nothing. I'm gonna be listening
She's
to my
definitely
thoughts.
listening to nothing.
No, because it tends to get random. And this is not well. Okay, it is one of my playlists, but trap cardio, all that trap music. That's
So
on
trap
there.
music like a Donald.
Yeah,
Thank you.
She loves trap.
Yeah,
I am a
trap
queen.
cardio
She's a trap
is
queen.
phenomenal, and
On my
so
way to work, I'm
she-
selling drugs.
there we go. But the playlist that they put together, every time I hear a song, I'm like, that's on the trap cardio playlist. All right, I like that. Oh, they playing it. Oh, that's trap cardio. Don't even know who the artist is, but I know that it's a trap cardio song.
I have to
Oh,
go to
Too
that.
Short was on there for Blow the Whistle too.
Hey.
Blow the whistle. All right. So today, right now, today.
Yes.
So for those who don't know what Juneteenth is, it's on June 19th, 1865. It's late. It's late. But they show up on the shores of Galveston and say, hey, y'all, it's been a couple years, but y'all free. Y'all being free. We gotta let you go. But we've been free-ish. Let's just be real about that. Free-ish.
Give us
that
free.
Time. So at that time, it was illegal in all of the United States territories to enslave individuals, with the exception of with those who are in prison or in some type of criminal system, which we should definitely, the 13th Amendment, and you look at it, it says slavery or enslavement is okay in those situations. So they're working heavily to get that taken away. So with that being said, it's Juneteenth, and it is a national holiday. Banks are closed.
Finally.
Some people are working.
Look,
but
we working.
how do you feel about Juneteenth? I never heard of Juneteenth until I moved to Texas, big.
I'm
Watch
used.
Jason Lyric. That's when you first time I ever heard of Juneteenth was watching Jason's Lyric.
I'm
Really?
from
Remember they went to
Houston.
the Juneteenth parade?
the
carnival.
carnival that was in the park.
Yeah.
I'm from Houston.
I'm not from Texas.
I'm from Houston. I was born in Oklahoma. Okay, but I'm a Houstonian. I'm Plain H Town all the way. But when we would go back for the summers to spend it with my pops, he was the person that introduced us to Juneteenth.
Oh, wow.
So we will go, they'll have all little small activities and festivals and stuff in front of a library. I even remember when my brother Chance was like really little, we ended up in front of the courthouse because they had a festival there. And so he was really little he's born in May, so he was still little at the time, but we went over there and it was just food and celebration and people getting up doing poetry and all this other stuff. Didn't fully understand it, but I was just know, hey, it's black people, we're celebrating each other. But that's as a kid, and then as you get older, you start to see it's like, oh, they played us dirty.
Right.
Absolutely.
They played us dirty.
Absolutely.
So I was just like, okay.
I was raised on Juneteenth. I thought it was a worldwide holiday event until I met other people from different states that said that they didn't celebrate Juneteenth, and I was like, why not? And they were like, I had never even heard about it until I moved to Texas, and then that's when I realized it was a Texas thing. And I was like, poor you, this thing is amazing. So we always did barbecues, get-togethers, and all that. So even with my kids, it's like they want to do 4th of July in our neighborhood, and I'm like, let's talk more about Juneteenth.
Juneteenth is for us.
Juneteenth is for us.
The 13th through the 9th. It's the whole. It's actually the whole week.
I think that
It's
they
actually
should
the whole
move
week.
Independence Day to that because you think about Independence Day,
Why
it's
do they
about
not
freedom.
like that?
I don't care that they don't like
They're
it.
not doing that.
I'm just saying,
They're
it's
not.
everybody wasn't free, and Frederick Douglass even did a speech about it on the 3rd of July because he
I read
refused to speak on the
I
4th.
think I read
He
that.
said we're not all free.
Well, I told my husband if we're gonna be in the parade, we're gonna dress our golf cart up in Juneteenth colors.
You want to put the flag up, the Juneteenth flag?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to help you.
I'm disrupting.
Absolutely. You get that one from Usher, the shirt that Usher had with the stripe through on the 4th of July with Juneteenth right there. Yes, you can get that shirt.
Right.
Get that shirt. You can get it. Okay, so Juneteenth is today, and I was not really big on Juneteenth. You know, 'cause I'm like, what are we celebrating? Like extra unpaid labor? Like that's how
Being
like
black.
right like that's how I felt about it. I don't really celebrate the 4th of July, and I haven't in a long time. I am taking the day off though, because I don't see people saying no. White folks, anyways. I don't see white folks saying, I'm gonna work on Juneteenth. Now they be like, I'm gonna take the day off too, and so am I. And any other day you try to get me. But yeah, I learned about learned about Juneteenth when I moved here for the first time, which was in the 90s. Let's move on. We also have Adult Sex Ed Month. June is Adult Sex Ed Month. What is the importance of sex ed for adults? You want to start or you want to start? The importance of sex ed.
You start.
Me?
Well,
Me.
This is me. This is my point of view. You need to know self. You need to know your body. You need to know how it functions, what works and what doesn't work. And yeah, you do need to know about the opposing team as well, especially when it comes down to knowing how the body operates. Now, if there is a video floating around, and I told you this in the car, of somebody doing the strip tease and all this other stuff, lap dancing and everything, and they do a routine with a condom and they eat the condom, I do need for you to understand, people. Yeah, she popped the condom in her mouth, swallowed it, then she pulled it from her cooch. Now, for some reason or another, some men seem to think that that's how that
First of all,
actually
your
works.
mouth is not connected to your vagina. Can we
It's
start
not. Now, we
there?
can get a mouth connected to the vagina, but that's not.
They don't
that's,
connect
Exactly.
internally.
They don't connect.
That would
and
be very
There are
problematic.
some
if it did.
men who seem to think that. So for me, it's an adult education. No stuff. No, and then even when it comes down to sex, you're supposed to communicate to say, hey, I like this, I don't like this. What you into? Oh, you like butt plugs? Okay, well, I'm into that. Everybody like that.
Diving deep.
Well, I'm being honest. It's just being aware.
Literally.
It's just being aware. It's being aware because based on some of the conversations I have listened to, and this is me looking aside from me being a high school teacher, because you know kids don't know nothing when it comes down to sexuality. The majority of the time, they don't know nothing. But when you talk to an adult and they think that a condom comes out because she ate it, it came from her cooch, something's wrong with that.
That is magic or witchcraft. I'll call it magic.
It's sleight of hand, is what it
Because
is.
men are dumb.
Here you go.
sometimes,
It's like no.
And they're fascinated with vaginas and mouths. So they're like, oh my God, how does she do that?
How does she do that? Okay, you know what? I'll accept it as being magic. It's an illusion.
Where is she at that?
Okay, we're focusing on the
I'm
podcast
sorry.
right now.
Sorry.
Not this shirt. I should have brought it up.
I like that shirt. Wait a minute, is this the same shirt I was just looking
We
at?
can just have it made. Just have it made. We're fine. We'll make it made.
But yes, I think that adult sex health, especially for African American people, is very important. And read a book.
LaToya, why is sex ed important?
Sex ed is important because it's a lifelong process.
Oh, yeah.
My mom and dad didn't sit me down and tell me about the birds and the bees.
Can we stop calling it the birds
I
and bees?
learned it from my friends.
And they was lying.
Very much so. Was not the
You
truth.
What was
gonna
lie?
dish with the soda.
What? My aunt
You
just
throw
said
off your
that.
whole balance.
My aunt said that once. It's like you could douche with some soda, like a Coke.
Okay, yeah, it's a Coca-Cola.
You know,
Nah,
Coke
I
takes
heard a baking
corrosion
soda.
off-
but not-
corrosion off a battery.
Coke.
That take the corrosion off the inside of your Coke.
No,
I never
girl,
had
that's
to.
just throwing off the good balance that's down there. You know, that good balance, that stuff that just makes it easy to work
The
with.
way your
and-
body is
the-
supposed to work.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of the Coca-Cola.
Yeah. But
Vinegar,
douching in
yeah.
general, you shouldn't
You
be
shouldn't
doing
do that.
So, sex education is lifelong. It's also timing. What I did when I was, because I didn't have sex till I was out of high school. So what I did in high school to 25 is different than 25 to 30.
Yeah.
What's different from 30 to now, I'm 49. Like, sex is different. You learn so much more, not only about what your body and what you're in tuned into, but you also learn the ways to teach what you enjoy to your partners. And then you also learn how to pleasure yourself because, you know,
That's one of
independent
the
women.
great ways to learn your body. That is by far one of the best ways to actually learn your body. But some people, you're not supposed to touch that.
Right.
I can remember changing my oldest
Do not
niece's
ring
diaper.
the devil's doorbell.
But girl,
Right.
I was changing
Use
my
your hands
oldest
to read the
diaper,
Bible.
and she reached down because I
That's
had
an
wiped
actual
her
billboard.
with the wipe, and she touched herself. I said, "Girls have vaginas.
Yeah.
You have a vagina."
Right.
And my mom was like, "Don't tell her that." I said, "But it's the truth.
Right.
She has a vagina.
Right.
If I was changing Stinky's diaper, he would have a penis."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I use all the anatomically correct
We do too.
That's what you have to do.
words when it
So-
comes to body parts.
So when I think of women and sexuality, I think that we were socialized not to understand our bodies, let alone feel pleasure in our bodies. When we learned that we could feel pleasure and enjoy pleasures, then we got tagged as coochies, whores, and hot boxes. And then you have to get past that stigma, and men get to experiment with a lot of women. As a woman, why can't I experiment with a lot of men? All penises are not the same.
That's facts.
They're not shaped the same. They're not
Girth
the
is
same.
different.
Girth is different.
Length is different.
Some have a hook.
Hook.
Some go up.
Yeah, a hook.
You got an arc or a hook.
Like, so it's like.
And also the individual is attached to works
Gotta
in their
know
way.
how to
That's true.
work the middle. So look, sex education is lifelong. It's ever learning. If you're still wanting and enjoying pleasuring yourself, I open the doors to say you should do that and not be afraid to experiment. Now, the flip side of that is what we do with Allure Alliance is talk about how you can still enjoy your sexual pleasure and protect yourself.
Right.
Because there are biomedical interventions out in the world such as PrEP, which is one pill that you take every day that will keep you from acquiring HIV. So say for instance, the condom breaks, you don't know your status of your partner, you're not in a monogamous relationship, or you just don't want to use condoms, which is okay. Well, here is an option to protect yourself from HIV, but PrEP does not protect you from other STIs like gonorrhea, chlamydia, Usher herpes.
Don't call
Don't
Usher
do that.
herpes. I'm
Regular
stifling a laugh and trying to talk at the same time. Yes, I remember they were talking about his $1 million herpes for a while. But yeah, I think sex education or sexuality education.
Sexuality and health.
Yeah, sexuality education like on a spectrum throughout your life,
Right.
and that it's ongoing, and that sexual health is a part of your entire life, and that it's important to be inclusive in that too. We're just not talking about cis het bodies. We're talking about all types of bodies, all types of, because the more that I kind of dive into this, the more things that I've discovered. There is a whole book about how people with different disabilities can have sex and how to discuss having sex. And I thought it was amazing to read because it was illustrated as well. And talking about how to have sex with people who are differently abled or who are disabled, or like we don't think about in all of the spectrum of existence when it comes to being a human being. We think about a man and woman come together, they make a baby.
Right.
And I'm not making a baby every time I have sex, okay?
Okay.
And I've started having that conversation,
I would
right?
stop having.
Right? You'd be the Duggars, right?
I would stop having sex.
Right. So that's my thing is like, I think that a lot of people did not get sex ed,
No.
right? They did not get sex ed. So it's
Girl,
important
you
to
Oh
get
well,
it.
no.
No, they didn't get
What they did do, because I think back to when I was in high school, and we did have a section in the.
But that's
in the
not sex
textbook.
ed.
No.
That's biology.
Only thing he taught us was the miracle of life
That's
and
biology.
watching the delivery of the baby.
That's
and
also
then he
biology.
rewinded it back so we can make sure we saw the baby passing through the vaginal
Still
canal.
biology.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with
That's
you.
what I'm saying. Like we don't get it.
That's what we got.
Right. And we don't get, when it comes to sex ed, it's not only mechanics. And I think we really focus on mechanics. Penises go in here, sperm goes up. If the egg is present, it's fertilized, baby gestates, and you rip your cooter to tutor, and you have a baby.
Well, they don't even want to say that the baby comes out of your vagina. They want to say it comes out of your stomach.
Who says that? Well, my baby did come from the stomach region, but I had
That's
C-section.
yeah. That's cesarean.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't my
I
stomach.
tell my kids, you came out of mama's vagina, and they were like, oh, okay.
I said a womb is a room for a baby.
Because it's like, mommy, how did I get out of your stomach? I was like, you came out of my vagina.
Right.
And they were like,
There you go. And took all the other stuff on the way out. Like
right.
that.
Mama's vagina.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So for me, I think sex ed is for adults is important to unlearn things that you
The wrong
may have
stuff.
been taught or
Now,
things that you have been not taught or socialized around.
Yes.
And then
Because I don't feel like my grandmother
Mhm.
or even my mom were talked about pleasure.
No,
Like,
absolutely not.
your body is for your husband. In that process of your husband wanting your body, there should be some equal translation of pleasure, not just
No.
oh, I'm here for him to get me pregnant so we can have a family. You know what I mean?
think
Right.
Okay. My
And don't
older
like it too
sister-
much. Because now you're a hoe.
My older sister kind of
Oh.
talked about it just a little bit. I can think back to when I was about 15. My mom asked what I knew. And then when I was getting ready, I was like, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. So then it's a dude and a girl, right? And then he's just like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want she stopped me. So then
It was
She
exciting.
was
That
like,
was-
you know
that was-
what? You know enough. I can
Yeah.
tell.
that was me at 15, round about the 20s, 1920s, somewhere in there. I think my older sister, she was the one to be like, oh, use one of these. This is something that's great.
Right.
It get you in tune with what's going on with you. I was like, okay,
Wow.
she got me a jackrabbit.
Wow.
So it's just like, okay, that's a great way to start so you can actually
Right,
learn
right.
about your body or whatever.
Yeah.
So
See, my parents talked to me about sex, and it was very, like, it's a part of the process. My mom was she's one of 9. So the first 2 girls got pregnant, got married, dropped out of school kind of thing.
Mhm.
And her thing was like, I'm going to graduate high school. Like, get back that was a feat to get over that hump, and let alone, like, go to college or whatever. So her thing was, nobody talked to me, so I want to talk to my child.
Yeah.
So she was very much verbal with me about, like, and vocal, and we had lots of conversation, and I would be like, I would tell her things that my friends would say, and she'd be like, girl, they lying. I know a lie when I hear it. They said they ain't doing it. Yes, they are.
Right.
Or, no, they're not. They're lying to you. And my mom and even my dad were very much like, if you want to do this, whether it's having sex or be in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know how it is, it needs to be because you want to, not because you're doing it to get something out of it. You're expecting somebody to love you back. If you're expecting something back, you're already in the wrong space. Right? If you're doing it because you want to do it, good. But also know that pleasure. My parents did talk to me about it's supposed to be pleasurable for you.
Good for you.
You're supposed to like it.
That's
I
awesome.
didn't get that.
And like now I'm talking to my son about those things. Like, look, and I have to tell him one day, you're gonna make that decision. Nobody's gonna be able to tell you when it's right. You're gonna be able to tell yourself when it's right. And you need to also be at the age of consent. So we have to have a detour about age of consent. But also, like, pleasure is not a one-way street. Your job is to not only create a pleasurable experience for yourself, you also want to make a pleasurable experience for somebody else. And if you don't feel like you need to do that, then you probably don't need to be smashing that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sex is not one-dimensional.
Right.
It is multi-dimensional, and sometimes it's for fun, sometimes it's for love, sometimes it's in relationships, sometimes it's not. And I feel like sex is an act, but it also is for a lot of people tied to other things. I can divorce my feelings from having sex. Some people cannot, and I understand that too.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to start talking to our young folks and our adults about that. Like, it's okay if you want to have multiple sex partners and not love any of them, or one night stands, as they call them.
Well,
regularly.
Then we would have to address spiritual and religious background, because we as Christians are taught that you're not supposed to have sex outside of marriage. If you fornicate, you're going straight to hell. You pass.
Really? Is it straight to hell?
Straight to hell. Don't collect your $200.
Girl, what church is this? Because I don't need to know
Any
that.
black church that I've
I
ever gone up in.
See, and that's the thing.
Because you're fornicating.
Yeah,
And
I know.
so you're
But
supposed to be married.
See, but this is what I hit people with. That's Old Testament. We under the New Covenant.
I don't know
Love
none
your
of the
neighbor
testaments.
as you
Look,
love yourself.
if I'm living my life anyway, by the Bible. I'm straight
But
to
the-
hell at this point.
see,
Let
but
he
that's-
who
but
is
see-
without sin cast the first stone.
Right, but see, that's the thing.
Can't go
Everybody's not
judge
Christian.
everybody.
I'm on
Everybody's
fire right
not
now as we
religious
speak.
in that way.
Mhm.
Everybody's not one denomination. I think it's
They're
important.
not.
But a lot of religions try to control people through sex,
Absolutely.
right? And more often than not, they're controlling women through sex,
Right, because
right?
we are supposed to be here to pleasure our husbands. They're supposed to like it. We're just supposed to reproduce and do all the mechanical things of cleaning, cooking, making people happy, and multiplying the earth.
See, I've never subscribed to any of that.
Absolutely not. That's
I
not-
do those things,
Terrible.
like cook and clean and da da da. I do it, but I don't subscribe to like that's the only thing that I am supposed to be doing
no.
as a partner,
No.
as a wife. But then also on top of that, this is very cis-het conversation. We're not talking about same-gender loving people. We're not talking about polyamorous people. We're not talking about thruples, and we're not talking about swappers and swingers and
That's
open
right.
marriages and
Yeah.
all types of stuff. We don't even include them in that conversation around sex ed. And we should, because there's lots of ways to exist. There's lots of ways to exist. And I think that's why we need sex ed. If you have to pull it down to one thing, there's lots of ways to exist. There's lots of ways to exist sexually in this world.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of Pride Month, baby.
Look, I have these conversations at home. My 10 and 8-year-old and my 10-year-old will tell you in a minute. Okay, Mom, I know you like to talk to people about sex.
I'm glad that your son can say sex without going sex. Like,
No.
ugh.
Spelling it out.
Yes.
Oh, that's not cute, Theo.
No.
Say
No.
the word.
Like, my son is now, I'm taking every opportunity. I don't care what it is. I'm trying to talk about sex and body changes and
Yeah.
like you're getting older
Yeah.
and I know you're liking certain things and hey, lock the door. That's what you're gonna have to do. We're gonna knock before we come in and get a chance to
Get your thoughts.
get yourself together if you're in there, you know. I don't know that he's doing it. I don't know that
Not
he's not.
yet. Yeah.
But I do know that I'm like, look, it's okay.
Well, my
Whatever
boys,
is gonna happen.
they've had that size comparison,
Oh,
Oh, wow.
and I'm
yeah, they look at each other like,
yeah. Then
Why yours look different?
I had to explain why one was different than the other, and I was like, "Where's my husband? He need to be having this conversation."
It always falls on mom.
And then my 8-year-old is like, "Mom, you don't have a penis?" And I was like, "No, I have a vagina." He goes, "Oh no, why?" I go, "Well, you
Curse of
brother
Eve.
daddy,
No, I'm like,
has penises. Mommy has a vagina, so you know
That's just
we
how it
have
works,
different
right?
body parts." And he goes, "Oh, okay. That's why we're girls and that's why we're boys." And I was like, something like that's the easy yes.
right, right.
It
It,
gets
it have
a
to
little
be
bit
age
more-
appropriate.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Right.
It have to be
You
age
gotta meet
appropriate.
them where they're at.
Like I remember my son told me he had hair on his arms. I was like, oh wow, let me see. Oh. And then he goes, and other places too. And I go, oh wow, don't want to see, but good. You're gonna have to start being very clean,
Make
clean
sure
your
you're
body.
grooming
Like,
your
I
body.
move
yeah.
into that stuff, and I buy books. We read books and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And I try to build that because it's weird from your mama, but I was like, I'm your mama. I want to make sure all your parts work. 'Cause you
Well,
wanna use
I
it for
want
your
to. I'm
life.
glad that my kids show me their parts because I
Mhm.
know they're comfortable with
Yeah.
me. And I'm also, and I know people are gonna be like, you shouldn't do this, but if I'm naked in my room and my kids come in my room, I'm not running to cover up. They just gonna see what they gonna see. And we've
Right.
had talks about what are these, what are breasts, and what are butt cheeks, buttocks. But it's not one of those shame.
Shame.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I know a lot of people. They were like, "Oh, we never had those conversations,
Right.
and I never knew what that was." And I'm not like that. Like I ain't like that.
Right. And that I feel like it. Like my son went to a museum and they had lots of nude paintings and stuff, and he said he felt uncomfortable. And I'm like, what's making you uncomfortable about it? He was like, the kids were making jokes, and I'm like, so well, you don't have to look. It is art, and there's nothing wrong with bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's gonna look very different. And
Right.
you do that whole nine about like if you don't want to look, you don't have to, right?
Right.
You want to stay within your comfort level. At the same time, bodies are bodies, and fundamentally, bodies are the same. There are differences, but overall, we're all literally made almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Depending on hormones and things along those lines. Some people gonna get boobs, some people gonna get a uterus and vagina, and others are gonna get penises and scrotums and testes and all that stuff. So we have to have those conversations ongoing. We don't, because people feel like you're teaching people to have sex. I'm like, who taught you to have sex?
Right.
The person who you had sex with the first time?
Yeah.
Right? Your friends said, I remember being in high school and the girl was campaigning for BJ's, right? Like, if you want to keep your boyfriend, you need to give him BJ's if you're not trying to have sex with him. And I was like, but that shit tastes funny because pee come out of there. That was all I was thinking at that time. Like, ew. That was me. But she was campaigning, like, trying to get all of us to give BJ's because she was getting BJ's. I think that's what it was. She didn't want to be the only one. But honestly, it's literally a stair-step, tiered process for a lot of folks. I also hung out with a lot of very different children. In high school, we were Army brats and we moved around a lot. So we in Europe and stuff, nudity is not seen the same way as here and things like that. So when it comes to sex ed, I think we will monetize and market sex. We don't want to talk about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything is sexually charged or heightened. But the minute we say, can we get some sex ed for the kids? Can we give them condoms? Can we talk about all their options, including termination services? People are like, absolutely not.
Right.
They're kids. Let kids be kids.
We have to protect our children.
Right. Not from shooters, but from
give me
condoms.
my gun rights.
Shoot, not even from the ones who are raping them at the house.
Thank you. Yes, at the house, at the church house, at all types of places.
Hillsong.
Thank you. Okay?
Hillsong.
So, we ain't gonna get too far into that. Let's move on to the next thing.
Watch it.
So, male mental health awareness.
Yes.
Let's talk black men and mental health. They need to go to the doctor.
Look, generationally, how we are raised, how we are socialized, how we are even today, 2023, have to talk to our little black boys about they can't do the same things that they white friends do.
Yeah.
If you get pulled over by the police, having that talk, even just seeing T-shirts that say free-ish since 1865. It's like, if our children don't need somebody to talk to about their everyday existence, I don't know who does.
Right.
And I'm so glad there are so many men stepping up to the plate saying, 1, they've tried it, 2, it works for them, 3, they recommend it. 5 stars on Yelp. Find the right person that's for you. I don't know what I would do without my therapist. I love my therapist. I didn't even know I had some of the traumas that I had until I had to work through them and saw how they carried over into me being a mom, me being a wife, just existing in this world, being black.
Right. And I think that when we think about male mental health, when you think about the field of work is not being kind to people of color, to black folks specifically, right? Is that it was a mental illness if you were a slave, if you were enslaved and you were trying to run away and you kept running away. They said that was a mental illness. You had something wrong with your mind. And no, seriously, and then you start moving into post-Vietnam, in the Vietnam era, you start seeing a lot of black men being diagnosed as schizophrenic. Paranoid schizophrenia. Not even behind the PTSD,
Not fully
but
diagnosed
because
for it.
we knew, because of the fact that we, or black men, were saying, the man is out to get me. And when they were saying the man, they weren't necessarily talking about a particular person. We're talking about the system. And because, that's not really what's happening.
That's not a thing.
That's not, because it wasn't the frame of reference for white therapists and psychiatrists and psychologists and the mental health field. And even like in the middle of Pride, remember that the DSM said that being gay was a mental illness. It was a mental illness up until recently.
That training that we did, I forgot what state we were in, and we were talking about can have multiple sex partners, and the girl in the class
Yes, that was down in the valley.
argued
What
us
happened?
down to the bone about that wasn't a DSM.
A DSM, that hypersexuality,
Yeah.
and that was like a compulsion, like where you a
Yeah.
sex addict kind of
Yeah.
situation. If you want to have multiple sexual
Because we
partners.
started talking about sex parties
Mhm.
and how people go to have multiple sex partners, anonymous sex, and she was like, "Oh no, that means that they have some type of mental." And she was,
And it's in the
sticking to it.
DSM.
Yeah.
And but what I always like to say is the DSM is always being updated.
That's
Right?
true.
It's always
Get it at
being
work.
updated. So, but that's what I'm saying. Where we come from, if you look, I'm always looking at. You have to look at the arc. You have to look at the historical grounding for a lot of stuff. It's not that black people don't want therapy. It's not that black people don't seek out therapy. It's not that they don't want to get these services. We're underrepresented as far as even being people who actually offer therapy services. So in a place like Austin, if you got a small percentage of therapists that are black, and then if I want a black female, it's gonna be even smaller, right? And now I'm trying to book, but also 100,000 people in the area trying to book. They're gonna get booked out a lot quicker and easier than say a white doctor, right? So I think when we look at, I don't like to just say our community doesn't do blah blah blah. Our community has been historically excluded from these services because I don't know anyone who would say I will take a mental illness for 2,000 and then walk away. Most of us are saying something isn't right, something's wrong with us, but I don't trust them with this. When I had my youngest, I was literally falling apart, but nobody could see that because I can't take that to the hospital. Because if I do, then people are going to get involved, and once that ball starts rolling, I can't control that ball. They may say I'm mentally unstable. I have other kids at home. Are they going to take the kids out of my care because they're quicker to take kids out of my care? I saw black women walking around being very stoic. I saw white women falling and wall sliding everywhere I went. Okay, I'm all of it. We're all going through it, but we went through it in a way that is very isolating. And then you think about mental health, you think about sexual assault, you think about trauma on top of trauma, wrapped inside of trauma, sprinkled with trauma. We have all of that.
Absolutely.
But we cannot find a place to plug in where we don't feel like it's gonna be a threat, right? The lady was telling me one of those girls that she knew, black lady, had a C-section. Told the doctors, I don't want you to put the salve on my baby's eyes because it's for vaginal delivery. It's supposed to stop any of the bacteria from getting to your baby's eyes and creating any type of issue like CMV or any other any type of fungal or anything like that. They said no. Well, she said no. They said okay. They called CPS on her. They called CPS on her because they said that she was harming the child. They didn't tell her if you deny this, service or whatever that we have to call CPS. They just called CPS.
Oh, wow.
And CPS is going to be in your life for at least 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is that when I go to the doctor and I say I have pain, they try to tell me, well, what else is happening? Oh, you just, like the lady said she wanted to get bed rest. The nurse went off on her saying, you just don't want to work. That's not how it works. Just because you're pregnant don't mean you don't work. I asked for bed rest. I had a baby on that Wednesday after that Monday that I asked for it. A preterm baby, right? The lady told me that's the worst thing you can do is have, because your blood pressure's high. And you can't have, that's not something that you want to do. Like, if you don't listen to yourself and you have these systems that are made for people that don't look like us, they're historically exclusionary for us. We have been used as guinea pigs in those ways. And we still have that mindset. We still have that trauma. So for me, for black men, black women, whoever it is, people of color, try to seek out somebody from your community if you can. But if you can't, you can have a white therapist and you can let them know out front. This is an experience that I have as a black person, and if you feel like you're not being heard, you can tell them that.
Absolutely. I think that's what stopped people from getting therapy too, is that they can't find someone who looks like them, because we talk about representation matters, and it does. But my therapist is white. But I will tell you, I interviewed and I went into these people's offices that were the color of me and didn't get what I was looking for. Because it's like, you're in a relationship, so you
That's
need
what
to
it
interview
is.
that person to make sure that they're going to be able to give to you what you're looking for in exchange for your healing. And I end up going with a white woman, and I've been with this woman for 8 years. Now, I also think that our generation, we are the generation of that's not good enough for me.
Right.
Versus my mom's generation, my grandmother's generation, and moving any further back, that they were taught to do good, to get along,
Go along to get along.
go along to get along. Don't ruffle no feathers. Don't ask no questions.
Don't
Put your
make no
head down
waves.
and
Right.
move forward.
Don't make no waves.
Right.
And so unfortunately, they taught us that, and unless we were willing to learn outside of that, make some waves, be the squeaky wheel.
Yeah, right.
That you don't know the other side of, oh, I can have the good health benefits. I can have the healing. I can find what I need as far as resources.
Right.
But at the same time, although that's not what you were taught, you can prescribe to something else.
Right.
You don't have to stay the same.
And see, that's the thing. I think for me, I grew up in a military background. We lived overseas for a big chunk of time, and I got to be in very, very mixed environments. And I saw, like, my mom is from Arkansas. She's from poor parts of a very rural town in Arkansas. And I would go to visit and be like, oh, this is not my life.
Right.
And when people would say something, my retort was, I'm here to visit, but you're here to stay.
Right.
Right? Because I knew I was leaving. And I
Yeah.
knew, like, my interface with the world was different. And they were like, you trying to be white, and you trying to do this.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of that. But I was
Yeah.
just like, I've seen different.
Right.
I've seen freedom in a way that I cannot
Yeah.
quantify for y'all. And I'm not going to be doing whatever this is that y'all doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? It's not against them because this is
Right.
their environment.
Right.
But they took this fish out of this water and put it in this water. And it's like, if I'm a very colorful fish and you put me in a tank of black fish, I am definitely going to stand out. Right? So that's how I feel like. I had to live in Arkansas for a year. And from that point, I mean, that really cemented the person I am today. Is I was like, I don't care. I'm a nerd, sure. You trying to be white? Okay, girl. Don't be mad because I'm leaving and you're staying. And my mama came back from town and literally she came in. We was like, when we leaving? I'm gonna sleep in the car. She's like, Mama said, why are we staying longer than it takes for us to load up the vehicle?
Right.
Where are we
Let's
going?
go.
Right? And I was ready to go. And I think I've been like that for my whole entire life when it comes to like mental health. I've always been like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
I love lime green. I'm wearing lime green head to toe. My mommy's like, why? I'm listening to alternative music. I'm screaming the lyrics. I was like, what are you doing? What is this you listen to? It's music, Mom. That was me. I was like, cue up the guitars, play the everything that's alternative. And my mom was just like, that's not black people music. And I was like, no such thing. Yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move forward with, since you were talking about like generational curses.
You know, I like to go back to the back.
So we're gonna take it up because we just went down. We're gonna come take it up. There was a trend going on the interwebs on Black Twitters.
I'm still looking for my
It said, anyways, breaking unserious generational curses. What are you doing to break, or what unserious generational curses are you breaking? For me, in my house. So what did your parents do?
What is unserious?
It's not serious. It's not that big of a deal. Like some things your parents did that you don't do, especially with your kids or in your life. Like for me, you can open up every single box of cereal in my house, and I am not mad. Back in the day, it was like, finish the box. do not open 3 different boxes. So for me, my kids can open up any box.
Girl, I can't think of nothing.
I don't. I mean, like throwing away your trash bags, the little
Well,
Walmart
yeah,
bags.
but those are trash bags. Those are trash bags, so you still need them.
Shower caps.
It's got us in a chokehold. Yes.
I got a bag filled out in the garage right now.
Bag.
Okay.
What, you clean the meat, refreeze it, put it in there if you need to?
Ma'am.
Maybe, I don't know.
Going in and out. Like,
They're
can
running
your
in
kids
and
go
out
in and
the
out your house?
As long as
With
I
the
know where
AC.
they're going, they have to tell me where they're going.
But
Could
that
you
was
do
about
that?
the AC though.
No.
You letting that thing
There
go
it is,
there.
right there. It's unserious. But you're breaking it.
My kids can have snacks and drinks whenever they want to.
There
They
you
don't have
go.
to ask me.
Right.
They can watch TV in the living room without asking.
Right. Just think about the stuff that you had to do when you were. I don't whoop my kids.
We don't go to church. on
We don't
Sundays.
go to church every Sunday. I can't tell you the last time I was inside somebody's building.
And I grew up.
Pre-COVID?
Wednesday was Bible study, Tuesday was choir rehearsal, usher practice,
Right.
and
And
Sunday.
you felt guilty
If you
if you
didn't
missed.
go. Yeah.
People gonna be asking me, where was you at last, blah, blah, blah. I don't, like, I carry that sometimes, like, oh, I should probably go to church.
My kids can tell me
My
their
kids don't think
feelings.
that way. Yes.
Mommy, I don't like that.
In my house, we can, it's like, the kids can disagree with you. Like, my kid can disagree with me respectfully.
Right, I'm gonna say respectfully.
And he was like, nah, bitch, you tripping. But I can see it on his face when he want to say it, though. I'm like, you're obviously having some feelings, so you might as well say it, because now is the time.
Right.
Anything after this is a dead subject.
My kids can give me facial expressions.
There you go.
Cause Titus he can make my head.
My son do
blow up.
this. When I talk, I'm like, and why are you doing this? What do you need to say?
I thought that this means hurry up.
I don't know what it means, but it don't mean I want to listen.
Yeah,
to it. Yes. And I'm still in the fence. Me and my mom are talking about kids cussing.
No.
I
No.
think at a certain age, I might be okay with it.
No.
I told my son, I said,
21.
no. I
Out
told
of
my
the
son,
house,
Exactly.
I don't feel that way.
but not like 16, 17. What
I
kind of
just-
cuss words you talking about? Mommy, I hate you, bitch.
No. I'm
Fuck
just
mom.
That one.
There are people who let their kids cuss
No.
like that.
No.
So y'all not breaking it. I
No,
think,
no.
for me, it depends.
No.
I told my son right now, because he's 12, I said, there are too many words for you to learn for you to start cussing. Cussing's easy. Learning new words and expanding the lexicon,
Mm-hmm.
that is what you need to be doing. Now, when you expand the lexicon enough, then you can revert back to 4-letter words if you choose. But right now, I need you to know more words. If I can throw a word at you and you don't know what it means, you got more work to do.
Or you gonna let your child have sex in your house?
I am not gonna sanction a sex room in my home. Okay. But at the same time, can you keep your kid from having sex in your house?
No.
No, that's not what
Like
I
if I'm
asked
not
you.
home,
No.
No.
But say he has
a girlfriend that want to come over and
they have
close
a
the door.
partner. Yeah, I want to spend a night.
Oh, no.
I don't believe in the spending the nights,
No.
anyways.
Yeah.
Not yet. We're not there yet. Now, I'm not letting. I feel like it's a liability to have somebody else's child come to your house and spend the night in a sexual manner, especially if they're not at the age of consent, right? So for me, I'm not comfortable with that because of the consent part. I'm not. But just like when you send your kids to prom, you're thinking that they're gonna have sex. I hope.
Yeah, that's my assumption.
That's my assumption.
I didn't have sex over my
And
prom
neither did
night.
I.
To a prom? Well, I'm a speed
I didn't
demon because
know.
I had sex before then.
No,
I did not have-
didn't.
Before I could get a license.
No,
I did not have sex.
I was in
prom
love.
nights.
I didn't.
I
either.
went to prom. I was a solo artist. The next morning, we went out and drove to San Antonio and did the SeaWorld stuff, all the stuff that we wanted to do. Then we came back. But it was no
But I think at
smashing.
prom they think
on
that
my
y'all
part.
grown. Like you grown, you gotta be out of the
That was-
house. You know,
No.
so
No, not absolutely
No.
not.
That didn't
I don't
happen
even
in
want my
life.
kids having sex in the house while I'm in there.
you don't want to have your kids having sex in your home while you're at home.
Right.
You want them to be like, mom's not here. Let's have sex.
That would be my expectation.
I think that's my expectation
That's
too. But
what happened.
But
I don't know,
I
I'm
got a
still on the
girlfriend
fence.
mom, or I got a boyfriend mom, and he over here, and they closing the door, and they're like
you want the
actually
door
having
wide
sex.
open?
If they have company in there, absolutely. I was brought up that way.
Yeah. Me too.
Leave the door open.
Me too. And there wasn't no boys go to my room. It was we in the
Everybody
family
in the
area.
living room.
Everybody gonna see what you say and what you doing.
Right.
I don't know. I'm still on the fence because we haven't, like we're now at a point where I met a girl and I'd be like, she's smart. Like she's smart, and then he'll be like, yeah, I'm like, what does she look like? I'll ask about her personality first before I ask about what she looks like. And then I'm like, so you like her or no? Like that's how I talk to my oldest. Like, you like her or no? And he'll be like, I said, that don't look like a no. That look like a yes.
Long side.
Yes. And he'd be like, oh, mom. I said, you saying it to me because I'm your mom? And then, like, he's in this camp, and he started liking a little girl, and she's white. And he was like, she's white. And I said, like, white? Like, white,
Right.
right? And he was like, I didn't want to tell you because she's white. I was like, well, you can like who you like. You can like what you like. Just don't become one of those that be like, black women suck because white
Right.
women. I don't want you to become that.
Right.
But he's 12. Like, he's just thinking, oh, wait, she laughs at my jokes.
So do you think? Question.
Bring her home looking like your mama. Like,
Do you think black men, and we can't speak for all black men, and this is going to be generalized. Do you think some black men date white women or date out of their race because they don't want to date someone that was like their mom?
yes, absolutely. I've heard that. I've heard black men say, I don't want to date black women because I was bossed around by my mama or my sisters, and I don't want to be bossed around by a black woman. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And that's crazy to me. But what I will say is, I don't see any problems with liking who you like. What I don't like is if you like something that's not this, and you decide to shit on this because you want to make yourself feel better about being over there, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to my sons, and there's one I done begged, I know that he gonna bring home something that's not this. All right, but my oldest son likes brown girls. He likes brown girls. I make sure to inundate him with images of black women that are positive, that are beautiful, and it's not about dating. It's about you need to have a sense of self,
Right.
as it relates to black women, that we are not here to harm you. We put our bodies in front of black men all the time. Okay, we advocate for them. We're the cornerstone of this community, and I'm not gonna allow anybody to downplay that. Okay, and his dad is not into non-black women,
Right.
so he's probably been a little bit more stern about it than I am. I've definitely had white boy crushes. I definitely love me some Captain America, Cap Zaddy, straight out of Wakanda. Okay, with the beard from Endgame. I'm with it. Okay, there's a lot of white dudes out there really good looking. Right? There's a lot of good looking white dudes out here. I don't want to be with a white man. Now don't quote me, but I don't want to be with a white dude.
I dated white men.
I said, like who?
They were on my roster, but I knew that when I got married, I wanted to marry me a tall, dark, handsome man because I wanted.
You got tall.
I wanted me some
Middle
black
brown.
babies. He darker than me.
He middle brown.
Okay.
I wouldn't say dark. I don't know Idris Elba.
Right.
Wesley.
Yeah. Oh Lord, no.
Chocolate. What's Buddy? Yaya, whatever his name is.
Not the one from the thing.
The
man
blue
from
man?
Wakanda.
What?
The guy from Wakanda.
Who's that? Oh, you talking about M'Baku.
Oh.
King of the thighs. King of the thighs. Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes.
No. But like he's like 6'5", 6'4", 6'5".
You talking about Buddy from the Watchtower? Watch clock?
Yes.
What is his name?
Yaya something. He was also Candyman.
And
Candyman. Okay, I know Candyman.
Good
the
looking.
movie with Keanu. He was the Morpheus in there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. He
Also,
very handsome.
Aldous Hodge is also tall and very dark and very handsome to me.
It is.
He was on Underground Railroad.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, he was.
He was
He
also
was a
that.
beautiful slave.
He was. Like if I was a slave, I want him on my plantation.
wanted him to be my husband.
Bring with me. Bring with me. Bring with me. Bring with me. Let me stop. I have all his babies. Okay? That's how I would have been. And he was with Journey Somali on the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't care about it because I grew up we were the only certified black kids on the block for a long time because of the military. And you got one parent that's one and one parent that's, we had a lot of mixed kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had 2 black parents. And we were the only black kids in the group. It was like, everybody was mixed. That was from a very young age, that was regular.
For you.
For us. Yeah. But I like black men. That's my thing. Give me a bruh.
Like it's nothing but women on my side of the family. So when I take my kids to Dallas, they see their aunts, their grandmothers, and funny, all of us had boys, so they have boy cousins, but they see they're surrounded by black women, loving, strong, funny, fun women.
Yes, I always want my son to see the beauty in black women.
Yeah.
You don't have to date us to see the beauty in us.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. Is that I want my son to always see the beauty in black women and the black experience. And I told him, I said, look, experience and lived experience is going to be very different from somebody who looks like you to somebody who doesn't look like you.
Right.
And you have to know that going in. I do understand that if I date a black man, he is going to be able to relate to certain things in my life that a white man is not, or a Hispanic man is not, or an Asian man is not. Doesn't mean that we can't find common ground, outside of, or even when you think about like, I'm gonna date an African person. They're gonna be a different frame of reference than an American-born African American person. Yeah. So you're gonna have to find that common ground. I think that that's how it works. But I wouldn't say, well, I'm dating this African dude, so American dudes are trash.
No.
I'm not gonna do that. Huh?
That's it. African men are rich.
Right. Everybody on Real Housewives trying to get to my African.
Right. So Portia, Nene.
So yeah, like, and in my family, they will say stuff like, if you can't use your comb, don't bring her home. And, actively, but I can understand why they actively did not like white people in a certain way because they were from a very rural, racist Arkansas town.
And see, that's what I learned via my grandparents. Not my mom and dad, but my grandparents. And then me doing my own history and reading. And I could see how they wanted to hide that horror of what was done from us. But at the same time, I feel like me learning that on my own and researching it and just processing it in a way, I knew that I just felt like I would never marry a white man.
All right, moving along, now that we done said that, what are your Black Joy June moments? So, Black Joy in June, what is something, give me some joyful moments that you've had this month.
I'm still running on our high from our Rising Star Award.
Wow. Oh, are we also going to talk about our trivia? I thought that I had a good time doing that. That was
Of course, because you love trivia.
I do love
It
trivia.
was fun.
People had a good time.
They had a great time. I had a good time.
You know what people are posting today? I don't have anything to do on Juneteenth. What are the activities?
It was fun. Something going on all week.
Carver Museum got something going on.
But it was in Manor. It was Manor
okay.
specific. So we had our event, and that was fun. I enjoyed that. And we're currently going to be planning for another one. I don't know where, and I don't know what.
I guess we need to go
That's
to
all you.
Pflugerville or Round Rock in July. The space was perfect. It was really cute. We had it decorated. People were very interactive.
I will be posting the videos starting tomorrow.
All
Strangers.
1,500 I was doing.
Look, you was on that camera because I
I sure
probably pulled
was.
that camera out twice.
Even when I broke down and did the bump with Miss Ambrose, it was one of those things where the camera was going with me. So you definitely got
Look,
that part.
there's a lot. The events may look small, but there's a lot that goes into
It was
it.
a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Especially to bring it all together and to make it look good on the socials.
Yeah.
So I
And
definitely appreciate
our
that.
basic is everybody else's extra.
Right.
I need everybody to
right.
realize that. We
Yeah.
don't come in half-assed. We come in with a balloon on. Okay? We put a balloon arch together.
I beg for that balloon
I
arch.
almost killed my husband behind it. But
Thank you, Wes.
no, don't thank him. Do not thank him.
I'm
We
thankful
lost-
he didn't die.
Some balloons in the process.
We did. They
And I
flew
was
away.
ready to murder.
Well, thank y'all for making one of my visual dreams come true because I loved it. And I love that new people came in.
Yes.
They interacted with one another, made some new random black girls,
Mm-hmm.
and even we had a couple of guys that showed up.
I think we should do
Yeah.
a low-key one. Like just, we can talk about it later, but like a low-key, like meet up at blah, blah, blah. Like a meet-up versus an event. I really think that might be cute.
As long as there's free food and alcohol.
Free food. Free food for sure. Free food for sure. We gonna have some food.
So if you missed us on this meet and greet in June,
Catch us on the next.
stand by for the one that we'll be planning in July. And yeah, we'll post that on our socials.
Give me your joy moment.
My joy moments. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. So we sold my grandmother's estate, and I'm not like I didn't have a reaction like I thought I was. I thought I was going to be very emotional, knowing that this was it. Put a pin in it. This is the nail in the coffin, so to speak.
Wow.
And
I don't know if I like that.
I know, right?
Expecting you to say tie up a ribbon, put a bow
Tie
on
up
it.
the loose ends.
Yeah.
Just like nail in
Nail
the
in the
coffin.
I mean, literally, that's kind of what it is. Like,
Wow.
we have nothing else to do, and so my reaction was not of wall slide, tears, I can't do this, and we can't sell that. It was more of, wow, this was a life. And
A full one.
a full one, and I reflected back on being her death doula, and yeah, I haven't had any tears lately, so that's joyful for me.
All right. Have you been watching Human Resources?
What is it?
It's a show on Netflix. They talk about grief in the second season, I think. And like it's a sweater.
I think I've gotten
You
halfway
wear it.
through that.
You wear grief,
Definitely.
and you wear it until you don't need to wear it anymore. And like it starts off, like the guy comes in and like, "Hi, I'm grief from such such," and the guy's like, "I don't have time," because his logical mind is like, "We don't have time for you. We don't have time for you. We got other things that we're dealing with." And grief is like, "You're gonna deal with me, or I'm gonna deal with you." And it gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and it also starts destroying shit because he didn't want to deal with the grief. And then there's a breaking point where and then he puts it on and he goes, "Oh, it's comfortable like a sweater." And he was like, "Yeah, you gotta watch it."
I gotta go back and
I'm
watch
not getting
it.
paid to say any of this, but I
Okay.
watch. And in the second season, they talk about grief again, and the girl wants to shut out the grief because she wasn't there the way she wanted to be there.
Okay.
Our logic is like, build a wall, build a wall, build a wall. And she ultimately ends up wearing a grief sweater. It's good. And like
Okay.
Niecy Nash is in it, the season that this
And it's
came
called
out.
Human Resources.
Human Resources. If you watch Big Mouth,
If you watch, yeah,
it's,
I watch Big Mouth.
it's the same people who make it. Except it's
okay.
about all of the different monsters that are in your life. There's a need monster. There's they want a baby, and it's like a little ball of like scribble, and he's like, I'm hungry. Oh, too much. I have to poop. I have to. And like the baby's crying, and his need monsters.
That'll be a good podcast.
I love it.
All your need monsters.
Wow. And then they have, a hormone monster. Then they have a logic monster. And then they have all the
The
different things.
depression, the purple kitty.
The purple kitty is
Yeah.
the depression monster.
Oh.
She sits on you.
She's
And you don't want to do anything because she's sitting on you. And I mean, they have so much.
Okay.
It's so
I'm
good.
gonna watch that.
I gotta go back. I know for
Keke
sure. that
Palmer's
I'm
in
at least
it.
3. Yeah, she
She's
is
the
in
love.
it too.
She's the love bug.
Yeah.
So when you love things, they come to love bug. But if they get mad, they become a hate worm,
Yes.
and they hate everything, and when they get in your ear and tell you everything sucks because it's only hate
That
that they
sounds
can
like
feel.
anxiety.
Oh no,
They
anxiety and
have the
mosquitoes.
anxiety.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If this happens, what? Oh my God!
Yes,
It's like the
girl,
most.
it is
And
hilarious.
it's so much, and it's so good
It's relatable.
because it's
Okay.
very relatable.
Okay, I'm on it.
So Joy Moment, go watch him on Resources
Okay.
on Netflix. If you don't have a shared password.
I do need
Trying to
your
charge.
Ah.
I do need your Hulu
Again? Alrighty then. I don't know. They be acting like
might
they
kick us
cracking
out.
down too. All right, your joy moment.
I think my joy moment
Is being here with us.
Being
Yeah,
out.
that was the second part of it.
School being out for the summer.
That girl. I think my joy moment was when I went out to the camp and I got to see. Well, I got to be around all those military vets and just watch them in action as they went through to map out the camp, and everything came from. It's like the layout was done by one of my colleagues, and he was just like, bam, 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 bam. This is what needs to be done, and then all of them just had everything to unfold out. So just to sit back there and watch, and then when they prep the kids for it, to have them to go through and talk about, you never know who's watching you. We're trying to see who will be the lead of these teams. You have to make wise decisions. They had a whole bunch of people to come out to talk to these kids about being in a leadership position and taking what they learned there to bring it back to the campus so they can run the program. Instead of, teachers going to be there, we instruct, we do all that stuff. Ultimately, it came down to the kids doing what needed to be done, mapping things out. This is a young man that was there who was over all of the kids, and he did an excellent job. And this lady pointed out, she was like, he was an excellent leader. He operated in silence, but he knew exactly what needed to be done and how it needed to be done. And when my voice started to crack and it got a little bit loud, he took control and everything went down. I was just like, let me snap a picture of this. But it was just like, it was inspiring, but I was just grateful to actually be there in that space at that time, because some of my colleagues getting ready to retire. But it was one of those things, just like, okay, I need to get as much knowledge from them. I just need at least a tablespoon so I can, build on to what it is that I have. I enjoyed that particular part. Then when I was coming out here, I was just like, I don't know what's supposed to happen, but I'm gonna be with my girl.
We always have a good time.
We gonna do
together.
something. We
had
gonna do
Korean
something.
barbecue yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
So it's nice. Just us. We just love everybody at home.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
girl, you should have seen me running through the house. Trying to
Okay,
help
we
me
got
get
to
ready.
go.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. We gotta go before he
And I
comes
was like,
back.
hold up for a second. Let me change clothes. Let me comb my hair. Okay, you ready to go? I got my purse. Let's go. Let's
We'll
go.
be back on the way out the door. So we'll be back.
That was it. So it was a mad dash, but it was just like one of those things. It's like, I enjoy being here. This is fun. Something new is gonna end up happening. Get to just sit around and do nothing.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that.
I like the doing nothing.
And we got to try the Dr. Pepper ice cream.
Oh, that was really
It's
good.
actually really good if you like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, the float ice cream.
Only problem is they only sell it in a half gallon, that big tub. But it's really good.
It was good.
It's really good.
I enjoyed eating it.
Look, my joy is food based. I ate Dr. Pepper ice cream. So I just really enjoy like seeing the things that we plan come forward and come to fruition, and that's pretty much it. Like my joy has been being able to kind of like put that stuff together, see it come together. I had so much fun doing the trivia, the singing was fun. I enjoyed singing and making fun
The
of
lady in the purple
kitten
shirt
heels.
with the white pants on. What's her name?
Who's in the purple shirt?
Oh, Kiana
Kiana.
with the hair wrap.
Yes.
She was killer.
She was killing it.
Yeah.
She kept getting up to dance.
Yeah.
Right.
That was that part.
And she posted about us. She said she don't get out often, but this was it.
And
I ain't
some
gonna
of her
lie.
answers was wrong on that paper. That part was funny.
I'm not gonna lie. When I turned down that little side street in Manor downtown, the first thing out of my head
That wasn't made her downtown, but go ahead.
I was like, they still hang people down here.
Oh,
Oh,
no, they don't.
It's kind of rural.
The real
Manor has more black
damage.
people than Austin. Yeah.
I kind of fear for my life.
For what?
It look like they
It's-
still hang people
look like
down there.
It's a small town.
it looked nice and
But
quiet.
it's literally transforming because everybody's moving to Manor and Elgin. It's a rural town. It was a rural town. It's one of those agricultural places. But now they're buying up all the land.
Yeah, I saw the sign for sale for the corn field that was over there. Corn.
Yeah.
Cornfield.
And it
Cornfield.
grows fast too. It's crazy how fast corn grows. Anyways, as we move into July, what is your affirmations or how you gonna deal with yourself for the next month until we come back together? What's gonna be your mantra? What's gonna be your affirmation for yourself as we move forward to continue the joy? I guess I'm gonna start since y'all thinking. I see y'all thinking. If the air ain't blowing, I ain't going. It's hot. It's oppressive. I feel like I might be hanged by the sun. Okay, you see remember that the Mario when the sun would dip down and try to kill you? That's how I feel.
The fireball.
The
sun is a fireball.
It comes down and you have to because if not you're gonna hear beep 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 beep. Right? That's what I feel like from my door to the car. I'm mad. I'm angry. So I'm gonna tell you, if you're inviting me somewhere, if we're doing something, if the central air ain't blowing, I ain't going. I'm telling you. We tried that.
She hate outside, y'all.
We tried that. We went to the thing. They had a little blower. It wasn't blowing enough. I should have sweat beads here and here and here. Okay? I need a coat if I'm coming into your event. I need a coat. Okay? That's how cold I need to be. Say it with me. Say it with me. If the air ain't blowing, I ain't going. There it is. Repeat that 3 times in the morning.
I like
everybody's
going
makeup.
outside.
You get the sweat beads on
I
top of the
want to be at the
makeup.
pool. I want to be on the rooftop. I want to be on the patio.
Better have something blowing.
I want to do all that. So
I will
I'll
go out when the sun goes down. That's me. Yeah,
But it's still hot. It's still 87 degrees with the sun down. 92
for me
with the
with that
humidity
sun
index.
being at its
And you
peak.
ain't used to, baby.
The sun being at its peak, I can't be out in that. So that mantra works for me definitely there. You
We
get
having a day party.
6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening, we're good to go. I'm
It's
willing
still
to
hot.
do that. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that part because I have air conditioning in my car, and I'm pretty sure by the time I make it to where I'm going, I'm going to still be housed
People
in the
ain't
AC
wearing
place.
active deodorant these days. They're doing crystals under their pits.
But
Okay, you out here lemon juice and baking soda ain't finna do. Get you an antiperspirant. It causes cancer. Well, don't wear it in the wintertime. But right now, baby, I've seen lots of
People like
funkies walking around, and I can't deal.
fun.
I can't deal. Once again, if it ain't blowing, I ain't going. Praise God. Latoya?
My mantra is the same. Whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling anxiety ridden, or I have the purple depression cat,
the purple kitty.
the purple kitty. I just tell myself, you are well, you are okay, because it's just getting through that moment of what it is that puts me in a place of where I don't know how I feel, or how I don't know what's about to happen. So I am well. I am okay.
I love it. Amber, did you say yours?
No, I didn't. I think mine is to breathe and focus. My gym back in Houston, they have a cryo freezer.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so I went in there with my trainer on one time. And it's kind of like you step in, it's a bunch of smoke because it's fog, right? You go in there and we turn around and you just see this purple light, and my brain is like, "Oh, girl, you in a closed space." And I'm standing there with my hand. The last time I went there, I had my hand on my trainer's shoulder, and I was holding my other friend's hand, Melsha, because she had injured herself when we had stepped in there. But my brain was trying to just started shooting out. It's like, breathe. You know where you are. focus. You only in here for 3 minutes.
And you can do anything for 3 minutes.
Exactly. So it's just like, just breathe through this, focus, you get out. So it's breathe and focus. And then the other one is like, everything has its place and every place has a thing or something like that. So when we're going through the cleanup and trying to get things organized, that's where my brain is actually manned. So, you know, that whole claustrophobic moment, for a second, it tried to creep up on me. I was just like, I know where I'm at.
Right.
I'm only going to be in there for a few minutes. This is not going to last long.
Right.
Yeah.
I also like, don't get mad, get active. I say that to myself a lot because I be getting mad a lot. I'm like, I'm mad. Why are you mad? Do something about it. I'm one of those people. Like, don't cry about it. Be about it. Do something.
And I need to take that one off.
Yeah, I know you're a crier. Emotions make you cry sometimes. I bust the windows at your car. That's me.
Right.
That's
After I get done crying, then I'll bust your windows out your
I'm a
Like, I gotta get that flush out first.
Right.
I'm gonna cry first.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna wipe my eyes. I'm gonna tear your ass up. I'm gonna tell you. You got the tears to run.
Right.
I'm giving you
Yeah, head start.
I love it. So with that being said, everyone, we appreciate you for coming out. We want you to be here all the time and connect with us at Allure Alliance, which is www.randomblackgirls.com. Instagram, Allure Alliance TX. On Twitter, TX Allure. Email us at allurealliancetx@yahoo.com. And thank you, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to listen to us, and we appreciate it. So, with that being said, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you, Ants.
Good night.
Hello.
Or good afternoon.
Good afternoon.